I went to the lab today and expected it to be about 3 hours. I knew that there wasn't much to do. I was finalizing an experiment, and it was just a matter of doing a couple things, and it would be over. 2 or 3 hours. Um, I'd finished what I was going to do, and I'd gotten the results. And my supervisor told me, "All right, we finished with that. Let's just start with something else now." And in my head, I was thinking, "Oh shit, I thought I got to go home now. I thought it was over. I hadn't brought lunch, um, and he just kind of assumed that I'd be staying. Um, so that was kind of just a small annoying little thing that happened. He was like, okay, these cells are not growing as well as we'd want them to grow, so I want you to go and get new ones and put them in growth media so they get to grow over a couple of days, and we can restart the experiment." And in my head, I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I really don't want to do this in the moment. But the 2 or 3 hours after, which is what the extra time was that I spent there at the lab, um, I'd finished doing it. I'd finished getting the new cells and everything, and I felt happy about doing it afterwards because I told myself, well, now that's done and dusted, isn't it? It's over. You got to do that too. At least you got to do something more productive because you just wanted to weigh out quickly. You just wanted to get out of there when you knew it was only 12:01 p.m. And you wanted a short day. Why do you want a short day? It's a Wednesday. What are you gonna do? So instead of going home and just watching whatever you want to watch, stay in the lab an extra couple hours and actually make it easier on yourself in the future. So that's what happened. He had to tell me. Well, he didn't tell me that, but he just told me get back to work. Don't. Okay, the experiment didn't go as well as you'd hoped. Um, there's no point dwelling on it. Just continue. So I did. Um, I was in a bit of a bitter mood, but I did. I didn't show it. What's the point in showing it? In my head, I was just kind of annoyed, but I'm working, and it's for my own thesis, so it's good that I do say that I do put in the work. So I got to leave it right around 3:30, with the hopes that I would have been leaving around 12. Um, and now it's 9:26. I had gotten home, eaten, worked out, and I talked with a friend, and that talk lasted way longer than I thought. And another small mistake, doing things that take longer than they actually need to. I still enjoy myself. I did put in the work today, so I got to do that. I got to enjoy myself either way. I had some other plans, but they weren't as important. Um, but yeah, in regards to the deadlift today, felt weak. I felt really weak. This was 150. I had done 160, and I guess you could link it to the fact that I hadn't been doing any deadlifts for about 4 days. Um, I don't know if it's correlated. I wouldn't think that 4 days of not training your lower back would lead to a deficit in strength already. But maybe because I work out, because I do my 5x5 splits, um, maybe because I do that high amount of volume uh, every time I deadlift, you could see it more clearly. You can see it's more prevalent when you do skip a session or two. So that just shows consistency, I guess. Um, and I was thinking about how people tell me, oh, if you don't train your lower back for a couple days and you lose 20% of your strength, what's the point? Like, what? That's You'd never be able to maintain that in normal circumstances. Like you're building strength for the normal day-to-day life in case there's an emergency or whatever. And I say, yeah, sure, but that's the case in all weight classes. So if I'm pulling 150, right, and I wait 3-4 days, I can only pull 80% of 150, right? Say that's the range. And that's fine. But if the same applies to 250, and I can only pull 80% of 250, well then shit, I'm still really, really strong if I can do that, right? In comparison to, when you compare it to the normal day-to-day life of what you might have to do in an emergency situation, you'll pick up someone, whatever it might be. Those are one of the reasons I'm training. Just one of the main reasons, but that's what I think of when people ask me, what's the point of strength training so much if you lose already 20% of that strength when you don't train that muscle group for a couple days? And that's what I tell them. I tell them I'd rather lose 20% of 250 than 20% of 150. Because if I'm able to get to 250 and lose 20% of that, I'm still very strong in comparison to the average man. Anyway, that's it for today, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one.